No. I simply asked him, why don't you ask your son Gopal to sponsor? And now, after 3 or 4 months, the no objection certificate was sent from the Indian consulate in New York to me. He had already sponsored my arrival there for 1 month, and all of a sudden, I got the paper. So we will continue now. At his father's request, Gopal Agarwal had done as he had done for several other sadhus, none of whom had ever gone to America. It was just a formality, something to satisfy his father. Gopal had requested a form from the Indian consulate in New York, obtained a statement from his employer certifying his monthly salary, gotten a letter from his bank showing his bank as of April 1965, and had the form notarized. It had been stamped and approved in New York and sent to Delhi. Now, Bhaktivedanta Swami had a sponsor, but he still needed a passport, visa, P-form, and travel fare. The passport was not very difficult to obtain. Krishna Pandit helped, and by June 10th, he had his passport. Carefully, he penned in his address at the Radha Krishna temple in Chippiwada and wrote his father's name, Gaur Mohan Dey. He asked Krishna Pandit also to pay for his going abroad. But Krishna Pandit refused, thinking it against Hindu principle for a sadhu to go abroad and also very expensive. With his passport and sponsorship papers, Bhaktivedanta Swami went to Bombay, not to sell the books this time, but to raise the fund, or not even to raise the fund for printing. He wanted a ticket for America. That was his now determination. Again, he tried approaching Sumati Morarji. He showed his sponsorship papers to her secretary, Mr. Choksi, who was impressed and who went to Mrs. Morarji on his behalf. Quote, "The Swami from Vrindavan is back," unquote, he told her. Quote, "He has published his book on your donation. Now he has a sponsor and he wants to go to America. He wants you to send him on a Scindia ship," unquote. Mrs. Morarji said no. The Swamiji was too old to go to the United States and expect to accomplish anything. As Mr. Choksi conveyed to him Mrs. Morarji's words, Bhaktivedanta Swami listened disapprovingly. She wanted him to stay in India and complete the Srimad Bhagavatam. Why go to the States? Finish the job here. But Bhaktivedanta Swami was fixed on going. So he told Miss Choksi that he should convince Mrs. Morarji. He coached Mr. Choksi on what he should say. Quote, "I find this gentleman very inspired to go to the States and preach something to the people there," unquote. But when he told Mrs. Morarji, she again says no. The Swami was not healthy. It would be too cold there. He might not be able to come back. And she doubted whether he would be able to accomplish much there. People in America were not so cooperative, and they would probably not listen to him. Exasperated with Mrs. Choksi's ineffectiveness, Bhaktivedanta Swami demanded a personal interview. It was granted, and the grey head determined Bhaktivedanta Swami presented his emphatic request. Please give me one ticket, unquote. Srimati Murarji was concerned. Quote, Swamiji, you are so old. You are taking this responsibility. Do you think it is all right? Unquote. No, he reassured her, lifting his hand as if to reassure a doubting daughter. It is all right. Quote, but do you know what my secretaries think? They say Swamiji is going to die there, unquote. Bhaktivedanta made a face as if to dismiss a foolish rumor. Again he insisted that she give him a ticket. So, all right, she said, get your P-form and I'll make an arrangement to send you by our ship, unquote. Bhaktivedanta Swami smiled brilliantly and happily left her office, past her amazed and skeptical clerks. And a P-form, another necessity for an Indian national who wants to leave the country, is a certificate given by the State Bank of India, certifying that the person has no excessive debt in India and is cleared by the banks. That would take a while to obtain. And he also did not yet have a US visa. He needed to pursue this government permission in Bombay, but he had no place to stay. So Mrs. Morarji agreed to let him reside at the Scindia colony, a compound of apartments for employees of the Scindia company. He stayed in a small, unfurnished apartment with only his trunk and typewriter. The resident Scindia employee all knew that Mrs. Morarji was sending him to the West. And some of them became interested in his cause. They were impressed, for although he was so old, he was going abroad to preach. He was a special sadhu, a scholar. They heard from him how he was taking hundreds of copies of his books with him, but no money. He became a celebrity at the Scindia colony. Various families brought him rice, sabji, and fruit. They brought so much that he could not eat at all. And he mentioned this to Mr. Choksi. Just accept it and distribute. And Mr. Choksi advised. Bhaktivedanta Swami then began giving remnants of his food to the children. Some of the older residents gathered to hear him as he read and spoke from Srimad Bhagavatam. Mr. Vaswada, the chief cashier of Scindia, was particularly impressed and came regularly to learn from the sadhu. Mr. Vaswada obtained copies of Bhaktivedanta Swami books and read them in his house. Bhaktivedanta Swami's apartment shared a roof in veranda with Mr. Nagarajan, a Scindia office worker, and his wife. So Mr. Nagarajan is explaining his exchange with Prabhupada in his own word as follows. Every time when I passed that way, he used to be writing or chanting. I would ask him, Swamiji, what are you writing? And he used to sit near the window and one after another was translating the Sanskrit. He gave me 2 books and said, child, if you read this book, you will understand. we would have discourses in the house, and 4 or 5 Gujarati ladies used to come. At one of these discourses, he told one lady that those who wear their hair parted on the side, that is not a good idea. Prabhupada this is something we learn when we associate with exalted personality. They correct everything. They were very fond of listening and very keen to hear his discourse. So every day he would go out trying to get his visa and P form as quickly as possible, selling his books and seeking contacts and supporter for his future Srimad Bhagavatam publishing. Mr. Nagarajan tried to help. Using the telephone directory, he made a list of wealthy business and professional men who were Vaishnava and might be inclined to assist. Bhaktivedanta Swami's neighbor at Scindia colony observed him coming home dead tired in the evening. He would sit quietly, perhaps feeling morose. Some neighbors thought, but after a while he would sit up, rejuvenated, and start writing. So Nagarajan is explaining in his own word that when he came home, we used to give him courage and we used to tell him, Swamiji, one day you will achieve your target. And then he would respond like this, time is still not right. Time is still not right. They are all agnanis. They don't understand, but still I must carry on. Sometimes I would go by and his chadar would be on the chair, but he would be sitting on the window sill. I would ask him, Swamiji, did you have any good contacts? And then he will respond, no, not much today. I didn't get much, and it is depression. Tomorrow, Krishna will give me more details, and he would sit there quietly. After 10 minutes, he would sit in his chair and start again writing. And I would wonder how Swamiji was so tired in 1 minute, and in the other minute, even if he was tired, he was not defeated. What an example Prabhupada is setting for all of us. He would never speak discouragement. And we would always encourage him and say, if today you don't get it, tomorrow you will definitely meet some people and they will encourage you. And my friend used to come in the morning and in the evening for discourse, and they would give namaskar and fruits. Continued by Nagarajan in his own word, his temperament was very adjustable and homely. Our friends would offer a few rupees. He would say, all right, it will help. He used to walk from our colony to Andheri station. It is 2 kilometers. And he used to go there without taking a bus because he had no money. I remember my student life in Toronto. From my university to where I was working at the Mughal restaurant, it was 2 kilometers. And at that time, the fare was 10 cents, 1 dime Canadian. And I don't want to spend the 10 cents. I was walking every single day. This is something very nice. I felt that all the children in the young age should go through this scarcity of all the necessities. Then there is no problem. But if the young children grown up with the silver spoon in that mouth, very difficult on the later life, because we all has committed some sinful activity in the previous life. Otherwise, why we come in this material world? So bad days is gonna come. So it's better to have when we are alive, so we can help them. There's something. Bhaktivedanta Swami had a page printed entitled as My Mission, and he would show it to influential men in his attempt to get further financing for Srimad Bhagavatam. The printed statement proposed that God consciousness was the only remedy for the evil of modern materialistic society. Despite scientific advancement and material comforts, there was no peace in the world. Therefore, Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, the glory of India, must be spread all over the world. You know, you might be thinking why I'm wearing this little muffler on my neck, but in winter time we keep 69 degrees to live a austere little life, because we need to learn. The season has been created to learn something. And in the summer comes, then we keep 81 degrees in our home. But what the common people do, when it's winter comes, they put it at 72, 75 degrees, keep house very warm. And when Krishna gives the warmth, they cool down to 68. What a mismanagement of our mentality, you know. And one thing is for sure, that our body always maintain 98 degrees Fahrenheit. So even though you are staying in 65 degrees, your body will never, you are giving a burden to your body. That's all we are doing, keeping our house. And when you keep a heater running, you are losing the humidity in your house, and that's the reason your skin will get, you know, crack or something. Your lips need some lip balm. But if you keep the low temperature, you don't need any lip balm in the winter. You save that money and something. This is something what I have experienced, I would like to share. Mrs. Morarji asked Bhaktivedanta Swami if he would read Srimad Bhagavatam to her in the evening. And he agreed. She began sending her car for him at 6 o'clock each evening. And they would sit in her garden where he would recite and comment on the Bhagavatam. You know, I was preparing my Bhagavatam class I have to give next Sunday morning at Houston Temple. And the Shaunaka Rishi is asking Sutta Goswami that Vyasadeva feel in grief after writing so many literature. So he approached his spiritual master Narad Muni. Please explain why I'm not feeling happy. And Narad Muni is telling him that you have wrote everything, but you have not yet glorified Lord Sri Krishna. So then the Shaunaka Rishi is asking Sutta Goswami, please tell me what exactly Vyasadeva did after Narad Muni gave him the instruction. And a wonderful narration. It's so sublime to read, and it says, to do the meditation, you need to have a very unique, very serene and peaceful atmosphere. And if you do, what the Vyasadeva was able to see was Krishna face to face in his meditations. He saw all the energies of Krishna, internal, marginal, external. He saw all the planets, planetary systems. He saw all the incarnation of Krishna. And then he also saw the suffering people in this world, in the age of Kali, how much people are suffering. If you feel you are not suffering, you are not looking properly. And then it shows what need to be done to mitigate the suffering of the mass of the people. That's what the meditation. So when we hear something, we also need to meditate. What does it mean to us? If we don't change our lifestyle, we are not making any advancement. This was far out, and then in detail, the Atmaram verse and everything. I don't know how I'm going to able to cover those points, all of them in less than an hour. But it was very deep. I have to still make a notes. I'm not a learned person, so I need to read many, many times to grasp the point. My mind is very dull. Only by the mercy of Krishna we can speak something. Otherwise, who are we? So, Mrs. Morarji is explaining her own word what she saw from Prabhupada. He used to come in the evening and sing the verses in rhythmic tunes, as is usually done with the Bhagavatam. And certain points, when you sit and discuss, you raise so many points. He was commenting on certain points, but it was all from the Bhagavatam. So he used to sit and explain to me, and then he will go. He could give time, and I could hear him. That was for about 10 or 15 days. His backing by Cynthia and his sponsorship in the US were a strong presentation. And with the help of the people at Cynthia, he obtained his visa on July 28, 1965. But the P-form proceeding went slowly and even threatened to be a last insurmountable obstacle. Srila Prabhupada explained this situation in his own word as follows. Formerly, there was no restriction for going outside. But for a sannyasi like me, I had so much difficulty obtaining the government permission to go out. I had applied for the P-form sanction, but no sanction was coming. Then I went to the State Bank of India. The officer was Mr. Murtachari. He told me, quote, Swamiji, you are sponsored by a private man, so we cannot accept. If you were invited by some institution, then we could consider. But you are invited by a private man for 1 month. And after 1 month, if you are in difficulty, there will be so many obstacles, unquote. But I have already prepared everything to go. So I said, what have you done? Prabhupada responded, he said, I have decided not to sanction your P-form. I said, no, don't do this. You better send me to your superior. It should not be like that. Prabhupada is so strong. When we don't get anything done in our material world also, ask for the supervisor, ask for the manager. Don't satisfied with the employee's response. Even with the city of Houston, they have not picked up our big garbage once a month they do. I complain. I don't know, they might be thinking this guy is always calling. So I call and I have logged the complaint and I asked the lady, can I take it to the higher at this moment? She said, no, you have to give 3-4 days to resolve. If they don't resolve, then we will take up to the higher. So today I will have to remember to call them because they have not picked up. And trash is on the side of the street. Who knows, the snake may be wandering around underneath. But this is how we have to be persistent of our needs. Nothing get done if you don't bother them. So Prabhupada take his request and he sent the file to the chief official of foreign exchange. I also went through the same thing when I came as a student visa. At that time, we have to have the permit. And even I don't have money to show in the bank balance that I have the money to study, so I'll have to borrow the money. But I repay them within 6 months. Very well. So he was the supreme man in the State Bank of India. I went to see him. I asked his secretary, do you have such and such a file? You kindly put it to Mr. Rao. I want to see him. So the secretary agreed and he put the file and he put my name down to see him. I was waiting. So Mr. Rao came personally. He said, Swamiji, I passed your case. Don't worry. Unquote. Following Mrs. Morarji's instruction, her secretary, Mr. Choksi, made final arrangement for Bhaktivedanta Swami. Since he had no warm clothes, Mr. Choksi took him to buy a wool jacket and other woolen clothes. Mr. Choksi spent about 250 rupees on new clothes, including some new dhotis. How cheap it must be that time, right? 250 rupees, now you cannot buy even something. At Bhaktivedanta Swami's request, Mr. Choksi printed 500 copies of small pamphlet containing the 8 verses written by Lord Chaitanya and an advertisement for Srimad Bhagavatam in the context of an advertisement for the Scindia Steamship Company. Mr. Choksi, I asked him, why couldn't you go earlier? Why do you want to go now to the state at this age? He replied that I'll be able to do something good, I'm sure. His idea was that someone should be there who would be able to go near people who were lost in their life and teach them and tell them what the correct thing is. I asked him so many times, why do you want to go to the state? Why don't you start something in Bombay or Delhi or Vrindavan? I was teasing him also. You are interested in seeing the states? Therefore you want to go? All Swamiji want to go to the states and you want to enjoy there. How Prabhupada responded, what I have got to see, I have finished my life. But sometimes he was hot-tempered. He used to get angry at me for the delays. What is this nonsense? He would say. Then I would understand he is getting angry now. Sometime he would say, oh, Mrs. Morarji has still not signed this paper. She said, come back tomorrow and we will talk tomorrow. What is this? Why is this daily going back? He would get angry. Then I would say, you can sit here. But he would say, how long do I have to sit? He would become impassive. But this is all transcendental. His anger is not for his own, but for Krishna. Finally, Mrs. Morarji scheduled a place for him on one of her ships, the Jaladuta, which was sailing from Calcutta on August 13. Number 13 is not good, but for the devotees, there is nothing like yesterday on Sunday feast. One of our devotees, Nayanamrit Prabhu, was giving a Sunday feast class, and he was making the point that Bhishmadev was waiting because he has a boon. He can leave his body at any time. So he waited until the Makar Sankranti, Makar. So from that day, the sun goes toward the north. So it's very auspicious to leave the body. And when he was saying like that, then I was thinking Prabhupada left the body in November. So it doesn't make any difference for the devotees when they leave the body. So don't feel that, someone that you like or you respect, they leave their body during the southern journey of the sun. Don't think that they are going to the hell. For the devotees, is always, it's the same. Those doesn't apply to the pure devotees. But we have to become pure. So finally, time is 6:54. I think we should stop here. We should be punctual in our practices. Thank you very much for joining every morning and support. And it's so nice to dwell, chant the holy name together, and also personally spend some time with the devotees. Whoever is living in Houston, they are most welcome. Yesterday I was preparing for my Bhagavatam class 1 week ahead of time because I'm not a learned person. I need to read 10 times before I get the point. So I always start earlier, and I request the management to tell me to give class only once a month, not more than that. So then I was just reading, and then one of the Krishna house devotee Bhakta, I know him, Bhakta Yogi, he came with his 2 children. One was maybe 7, 8 years, and the other one maybe 3 or 4. So nice children, well behaved. And he just rang the bell. He doesn't have my phone number. And I welcome them, offer them some pomegranate juice, make them comfortable. And then we spoke for more than an hour and 40 minutes. And it was so nice that I came to know that elder one name is Isaac, and the other one was Harry, A-R-I. And that, the small children, he put like this V, and then he put like this finger. This is A. And then he make it R also through his finger, and then he say I. My name is A-R-I, he said. What a nice children. And then I give him a gift to Yogi Prabhu, a nice tulsi beads, very authentic and very nice. And I give him a white japa bag. And I told him that we should wash our japa bag once a week and iron it. Please follow this. And then I show him how to chant the Hare Krishna. And then I showed him my japa beads. That look at this, how smooth these beads are. Because I wrote it every time I chant. And it with the perspiration, it became so smooth, my beads. So I told him that now your beads look like this. My bead was also looking like that. What is 92? May 31st, I received that japa bag from my Guru Maharaj. So it's like 8 and now 25, 33 years, 32 years. So I told Bhakta Yogi that I don't know I'm going to live that long or not, but please make sure that your beads get shining. Utilize more and more. Touch the tulsi beads and it will shine and it becomes so smooth. So he told me that, yes, Prabhuji, very nice devotee, Bhakta Yogi. So let's see, I always like to spend the time with the devotees. That's my great pleasure. Like Ramapat Swami Maharaj told me that don't write any books or anything, because I was writing not new book, but just read the books and I was making my notes. And he said, no, you should go and visit the family. They will get benefits. So Let me read you one that I visited on Saturday, one of the family, very new. And they have two sons. One is named Krish. He has passed his BS degree in how can I forget that? He's biomedical engineering. He's 23-year-old, and his younger brother is 3, and he is in 12th grade, going in the college next year. And their parent, they're working for the Shell company, so they put them at different countries, but at least they give them 5 years. So, but somehow or other, his father got the notice from his company within a year and a half that they don't need him here. He need to go somewhere else except America. So the father and mother will be living and the children will be here, 2 of them. So I feel so compelled. So I told them that please accept me as your uncle. Whatever you need something, let me know whenever you need anything, because your parent will be away. So this elder one wrote me as follow. I was really touched by our discussion yesterday and want to thank you for taking the time to visit us. I just met them one time in the temple, and I told them that I want to visit because that's my desire, to go to different houses. So they were telling me, Prabhu, when you are going to come, And then the family wrote me that Prabhuji will be leaving tomorrow, they will leave US. So then I said, yes, Prabhuji, sorry that I wasn't able to come, but I will come on Saturday. So I went there. So he said, I have chanted today and assure you to at least to do 1 round every single day. And then he revealed his mind. I was planning to call you for 5-10 minutes after my parents left for India to thank you and discuss about other improvement I want to make on Wednesday afternoon if you are free. What a kind son he is. Over time, I hope to build our relationship and would be grateful to have a mentor like you in my life. I recently got an offer from Rice University to work as a research assistant. He is on a student visa. And he's asking, what should I do? So luckily my daughter is also did the biomedical engineering. So I put him into contact with my daughter to guide him. Research assistant at the Rice University that I'm considering, but I'm also open to other opportunity. Thank you, Hare Krishna. So, it's so nice to meet with those people. So many people have so many different situations. They need at least some solitary words support. How much? And then the parent says, yet it's so expensive. He used to use our devotee, but he said he has the limousine and it's very expensive. So now they are trying to save the money. So I said, Prabhuji, you should have told me. I should have taken you to the airport, whatever is needed. He said, Prabhu, no. And I begged him. And he said, so many baggage and all that. I said, I will carry. And then he said, I will have to have the man to carry from the curb to the airport to the, ticket center. And I offered, but he said, no, Prabhuji, I will take care. So I felt bad. But I told him that don't worry about your 2 children. I will keep in touch with them. And I'll do the best I can. So this is something very nice, when you meet the people It's everybody need everybody's support. And that's unless and until I have not gone there, how would I know the situation like? So be compassionate, spend some quality time. I spent more than 2 hours, and then I told the parents, my advice to all the parents, that we should have so loving relationship with our children, so open heart discussion. Don't become upset with them when they make a mistakes, because who has not made a mistakes? Don't be proud. Give them support. And when you receive, when they say one nonsense thing, I told this parent that even though they have some illicit relation and they reveal to you, oh, daddy, I made mistakes, just support them. Just say it's okay, you made a mistakes, but please do not repeat. Help them. And when you be like this, otherwise our tendency as a parent, what I have seen, oh, you know, why did you get into such kind of activity? You know what? And we become so angry. Next time, even if they make biggest mistake, they will never come to you to reveal to you. Be kind to them. We have made so many mistakes in our life. Support them. And have a relation so they will be able to come to you. And one thing I'm, talking to different youths everywhere, devotees. I like to talk to the youngster. So they reveal to me that they are facing so many peer pressure and bullying at the college or at the high school. They are stressed, fully stressed. And when they come home, the parents are so busy making money, they don't have time for the children. Children are crying in their heart, believe me. If you have a children, just make a note, spend some time, love them, show your support to them that you are there for them. Don't become never angry with them. Otherwise, they will never share what they are going through in their life. Pity situation. They are also the part of Krishna. Help them. And that's my passion. That's why you see in the morning I encourage all the young children to come and chant the holy name. Why? Because I want to support them some way. And I know that who I am to support. But if they take shelter of the holy name, their life will be successful. But so many devotees, they have a children, but they don't bring their children to me. That's my misfortune. I want to help them. I cry for the children. They are going through so much difficulty, but they are not telling you because we cannot accept. We become angry. So they are getting, both sides get bounced. Outside world is terrible for them. When they come home, they don't get a support. Just visualize the situation. I'm talking about all the children. So don't think that your son and daughter is not going through. Take it out, that illusion from your mind. Help them. So I think I have spoken more than necessary. I always wish all the human beings can live happily, loving with each other, and don't go after the green notes. Green note is the hell in human form of life. So thank you very much for listening me. Sometimes I get so harsh, but we need to have, like, sometimes my Guru Maharaj used to get angry and he said, why? Because I want to see that those words engraved in your heart eternally. When he used to chastise, he will never leave you alone. And I have went through so many times, even though I was innocent. And then my Guru Maharaj was so kind. He will ask forgiveness from me that I really unnecessarily chastised you. It was not your fault. Forgive me. And I say, no, Gurudev, you have all the right to chastise. And one thing I did, I never argued. Listen and accept that criticism. We need to hear criticisms. And that's what my goal is, to see that all the members should question our life. After taking initiation, show me what you have changed in your life. You live like we are living in our life. What is the difference between us and you? Show me. But they are so kind. They are not asking. They are respecting us. That's not good. Everybody should get questioned about their life. Then and then we will remain steadfast, knowing that people are watching our life, what we are doing. And if he really wants to attract the people, we need to open our life to them. And present yourself as you are inside, present outside. One thing I see that, sometimes like I am watching TV, right? And if somebody comes, the normal tendency is, I will shut up the TV to show I'm not watching TV. But I don't do that. If I'm watching cricket, I will leave it on. And I am one favorite show I watch sometime at night before I go to. It's like a Tarak Mehta Ka Ulta Chashma. I don't know how I'm become attached, but this is very serene and only just comedy. So I watch it for 5-10 minutes. It's so nice before I go to sleep. So we should be frank and open, nothing to be hide or do something different when different circumstances is there. Remain as you are in all circumstances. And you speak truth, then you don't have to worry about anything, But because we are not truthful, we have to hide so many things, and then we are worried. These are something that, I remember my earlier days of my life. We were so arrogant, and I repented. When the people used to call us for the marriage ceremony or the receptions, everybody wear tie and suit, and we follow dhoti, kurta, tilak, and japa beads also in the neck, like, oh, we are going to chant there. What a foolishness I regret it. What was the point showing something? You are attending the social program, be social with them. Pant and suit and tie. Don't make something different. What do we have that quality to separate from the crowd? Mix with them. Make the friendship with them. But we were so naive and arrogant at that time. I regret it. We should live like a person, ordinary person. Anyway, thank you very much. Always, devotee, I'm consuming your valuable time, but please take care of your children, take care of your wife. And one thing about the Indian men, they are the worst husband, I can tell you. Indian men are the worst husbands. They don't care how much their wife work. They sit and wants to have everything in their hand. Give up that attitude and help your wife in all respect. Help them cut vegetable, whatever they need. Show your love and affection, because who knows, you will be able to see tomorrow the sunrise, and they have to live their life. Give them the love and affection so they will have the strength. Talk about the death. Sit with them and talk about the death, that if I'm not here, what will happen? Discuss those things. Don't keep secret. Don't wait for a moment that you don't able to say or speak anything, then they have to use some technique. Oh, can you, doctor, make him speak something because he didn't tell us anything? Where he has the money, what his goal was, nothing. Be open and share everything. Don't wait for the moment. Who knows? When you go out, you have a car wreck and you will be gone. This is our life. Become proactive. Open your cards to everyone and be kind to everyone. When you show your mercy of other people, Krishna will appreciate so much. He will be smiling at you. But we are so engrossed in our own happiness that we don't spend no time for other people. Miserable life we are living. Well, thank you very much. I should stop you. And if I have spoke something that unpleasant to you, please forgive me. That's not my intentions. But I think we should speak truth, reality of this world. Thank you very much. Vanchakalpatarubhasya kipasindubhaya patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Thank you very much, all of you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So we will see you, if Krishna so desire, tomorrow morning at 2 o'clock Central Standard Time. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Do something that other person can remember you. Do something small, big, whatever you can, but do something. Every day we should touch someone's heart. Keep that motto. Don't try to show off. Just do the manual service to someone to please them. You know, yesterday one of the devotee came and I didn't know that was his birthday. So I didn't, And then I hugged him, and then he introduced me that his father. So I offer my obeisances to his father, and then I hugged his father. Then I came to know that was his birthday, so he came to me. So then I called him late at night, even 10 o'clock, I think. Some devotee, I have sent them a text message, even at 10:40 or 10:10, I think, p.m. late. I also sent the text message to the cooks who cooked the Sunday feast, Seva Priya Mataji, Sahan Thakur Prabhu, and I think Raman Krishna Prabhu and Leela Mangal Mataji helped them. It was one of the best Sunday feast that I cherished in recent months. So I sent them a text message congratulating them for cooking a wonderful. It was a simple potato and fish sabji, rice, dal, salad. I don't know what the sweet was, or no, there was no chapati, no, there was a papad they were offering, but I didn't took the papad. And yeah, the sweet, I saw that. I never take any sweet, but there was a sweet rice. Sweet was there. Very wonderful, simple, but very nice. So I wrote them before I go to sleep. So if you see something somebody has done good, appreciate them. Spend some time. Like we read in that Narottam Das Thakur visited personally to invite them. But you know, we live right across so many devotees. We never have time to visit them. That's really painful. But this is the world we are living in. We have our own boundary. And we don't want anybody to cross that boundary. We want to have our private life. I remember, when we developed, I put my house very back. There was a couple of reasons. There was an oak tree, and I don't want to cut the oak tree. It was very old tree, but I said, no, I don't want to cut. So I put back my house. So I have a lot of space in the front. So then all other houses, they build very close to the street. And I asked them, look at this, my house is so far from the street. Why did you, if you have done the same way right across my street, we have a huge garden in our cul-de-sac. You know what they told me? That the architect told us, if you leave the space in the front, it becomes a public space. But if you need, you leave more space in the backyard, so it's your private place. I don't know how many private places are we going to make. Everywhere we need privacy. I was giving the example the other day about the house construction in India. In living room, everybody used to sleep. It was so very nice because people will start walking and you wake up. You don't sleep. But now we have our own room. We don't want to have no disturbance. What an advancement are we making? Haribol, when I see that, I go and visit some family with the big houses, and when I see that each member of the family, they exchange the talk on the text message or the email, but they are living in the same roof. That's what we are creating, privacy. So much privacy is there in our life. In India, there was no privacy. Everybody was living together, a couple of generations. And I'm proud that I met one family that they are living close to how many people? They told me, I forgot, but it was more than 40 people is living under the one roof in Houston. And I'm so happy to see that family, that they maintain the culture. They didn't have many houses. They live under one roof. I didn't visit their home, but they are the business people, so I go, and I used to go and ask for the donation during Janmashtami. So then I talk to know their family, and then they reveal that, Prabhuji, do you know how many grandchildren we have in our house? I said, tell me about it. And then they reveal that there are more than 40 people are living under one roof. That's called forbearance, or giving. What is the quality that we have to? Is I forgot that word. Doesn't come in my mind. It's not going to come, so we should end now. Thank you very much. Vanchakalpatarubhasya kipashanubhayavacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Thank you very much. You are all so kind to give your kind association. I will never forget you. That's for sure. Every one of you, you may be thinking, but I know everybody's time when they are joining. And when I see somebody is not maintaining, my heart impulse to tell them what happened. Be careful. Mahadev is working on you. If you sleep so long, you will be gone. Don't think that we will never fall down. People has fallen down, so many of them. We have to be extremely careful. If we cannot maintain our sadhana for whatever reason, I don't want to hear the excuse. There are so many excuses. If you want to give excuse, there are unlimited excuses. But if you love someone, you want to present before them on time. If you love, so that shows how much we love Krishna. All of the responsibility, Krishna is giving us a promise. I will take care. Everything. Look at the Narsimha Mehta, he was a Gujarati saint. And his wife was keep on telling him that you do sing kirtan throughout 24 hours. Our girl is getting to the age to get marriage. How we are going to marry her? And still Narsimha Mehta used to say, my Krishna will take care. And we see that it was a jubilant marriage in the history. Krishna provided everything that you cannot even accumulate by your own effort. So sometimes I say this because this is the austerity time we should accept. You prove your love to Krishna. I was talking to this family and I was telling them, nobody in this creation, including your family members, is not a well-wisher of you. I'm telling you. It says that the husband and wife in the previous life, we were enemies of each other. So Krishna put together, okay? Now, so don't think anybody is well-wisher. And if you want to find out who are your good friends, file for chapter 13, bankruptcy. And then start calling your friends dictionary and see. And once all the friend knows that you are in trouble, you will see nobody will pick up even your phone. That's a reality. They are there to enjoy your company. But when somebody needs somebody help, hardly you will find one person who will stand by you. And look for that. Bhrigu Maharaj, I remember the story. Bhrigu Maharaj, he wanted to prove. And same thing, I think I advise all of you should taste out each devotees to whom to associate. Blaspheme them and see how they react with you. They are equally poised or not. Taste it out. Bhrigu Muni did that. He went to Brahmaji. He just smiled. And Brahmaji cannot take that smile. So he became upset. So then he went to the Lord Shiva and he said some harsh word to Lord Shiva. And he became angry. And then he went to the Lord Vishnu and he kicked him on his chest. What Lord Vishnu says, oh, Bhrigu Muni, I hope my chest is so hard. I felt that your soft leg must have get hurt. Please forgive. These are the people you need to associate. Try it out, different things, and see that how well-wisher are they in your life. No pride and no envy should be in their heart. And find those people. Stick with them. Your life will become successful. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. We will see you tomorrow morning. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. If I have said something which is unpleasant or you don't feel comfortable, please forgive me. But my nature is I speak to myself so I can remain fixed how I will have to behave. So not for you all, but it's for me. In that sense only, I do that. I dwell throughout the day like that. That's my life.